Good afternoon, Malacañang Press Corps. Kasama na natin si Chief Presidential Legal Counsel and Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, MPC.
May statement, Secretary, or Q&A?
Yes, I have a statement. Well, I'll just read it. We find it unfortunate that this representation's referral letter to the Board of Pardons and Parole, Executive Director Reynaldo G. Bayang, dated February 16, 2019, is unwittingly and erroneously and even maliciously being reported as a recommendation letter for the executive clemency for former Calauan Mayor Antonio Sanchez, as written by Inquirer Net. This report is far from the truth, and we find it defamatory in nature. There is no part of this representation's official communication asking for intervention. As texted by Pia Rappler, I said no intervention. The referral letter speaks for itself. On the contrary, this representation left it to the discretion of the Board of Pardons and Parole to evaluate the case of Mr. Sanchez. I was listening to Senator Gordon earlier. His exact words were, so nirefer pala, nirefer lang pala. It has been the standard operating procedure of the Office of the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel to respond to all, and I mean all, letters received by it and refer them to the appropriate department or agency which has the authority to act on the writer's concern. Every day, we receive letters coming from all walks of life. Some of them are requests for finances, for hospitalization, others, so many others from the inmates asking for clemency, asking for pardon, asking for commutation. All of them, we respond because the policy of the President is to respond to all letters addressed to the Office of the President. In fact, as I've been telling you before, this is the only administration that responds to all letters received by it. No other previous administration did that or will perhaps ever do that. That is precisely why I never leave my office until I refer the same to the appropriate agency every day. And sometimes when you go abroad or on an official activity outside of Malacañang, so the letters pile up in my table just right now. So the referral letter of Mrs. Marie Antonel V. J. Sanchez, who happened to be the daughter of former Mayor Sanchez, to the Board of Pardons and Parole, is just one of the thousands of referrals this office has made to various government instrumentalities. In fact, I have here so many letters with a standard form. All letters addressed to the Bucor have the same content, exactly the same content, with the exception of the name of the letter writer. There are hundreds of them. As I previously said, I have no contact with Mayor Sanchez. And I even thought that the letter came from the wife of Mr. Sanchez, as can be seen in my instructions to my subordinate. When it apparently came from the daughter. In other words, the news article of a Net Inquirer, and in fact I just texted them, and I demanded rectification for that, because it's reeking with irresponsibility in news reporting by saying that I recommended. I never recommended anything. In other words, the office just physically act on referring the same to the appropriate agencies. We don't do anything about it. And if they respond to us, we acknowledge the receipt of the response and thank them for taking action on the matter. That is the job of this office with respect to all letters received. And when the president asked my opinion on the matter, I immediately told him that as far as Republic Act 10592 is concerned, those who are recidivist, habitual delinquents, and escapists, as well as those convicted with heinous crimes, are not covered by Republic Act 10592 by express provision, and hence the conclusion is ex-Mayor Sanchez was not covered by it. And precisely I issued a statement to that effect. I'm ready for your questions.
Rosa Venario.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Sir? Hindi.
Oy,
Hey, sir. Nagkaroon po kayo ng pagkakataon na makaharap ng personal at makausap ang pamilya Sanchez.
well, they came to the office and was it personal receipt? It was an email. And then they came, and I told them exactly. We will refer the same as we all refer all. We can't do anything about it.
Yun lang po ang pagkakataon na nakaharap niyo sila.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Kailan daw ho, sir?
We have to look at the record because we have a record. We will check.
Yun po yung panahon na nagbigay sila ng sulat.
I think so, yes. More or less about the time.
Isang beses lang po kayo nagkita?
Do you remember? Basta, what is important is when I told them exactly, the Bureau of Corrections will be the one to determine whether or not your application will be approved or not. We can't do anything. We always follow the law.
Sir, thank you.
Henry, then Maricel.
Secretary, you were saying that letter of the Sanchez family is just one of those many letters
Yes.
being given to you or being sent to your office. Is that right, Secretary?
Yes, in fact, I have here, all letters have the same tenor, content, except
So
the
aside
names.
from the request of the Sanchez's, meron po bang nag-request sa inyo na nakakulong sa Muntinlupa na iba pa na humihingi ng inyong referral para sila'y makasali doon sa posibleng pag-kwalipika sa GCTA?
No, but not in reference with Republic Act 10592. It's a general statement that nakakulong po kami dito ng matagal, baka pwede na kami makommute ang service namin. Puro ganon. Walang binabanggit about
Yeah. Merong hong iba pa maliban
Marami.
sa mga...
In fact, I brought...
Can you name us one? Para meron lang ho kaming...
One is addressed to letter dated January 21 from Mrs. Nora Basher. Another one, December 18, 2018, coming from Mr. Jason Hernandez.
ano pong mga nakalagay riyan?
Pareho nga eh.
Can you read that for the record, Secretary?
Nalin.
Yung nakasulat dyan sa iba pang request, maliban dun sa request ng mga Sanchez.
It's the same nga eh. We write in reference to the letter dated November 29, 2016 from Mr. Jason Hernandez regarding his application for executive clemency. For ready reference, attached is a copy of the said letter. In line with the President's commitment for good governance, transparency, and immediate action on matters that affect the welfare of the people, we're referring this matter to your good office for your evaluation and whatever appropriate action you may want to undertake under the premises. We request your good office to update us of any development with respect to the same for record purposes and for whatever action this office may want to undertake consistent, please take note, consistent with law and the policy of the President for good government. Thank you for your prompt attention. I remain very truly yours. This is the exact letter that we sent to Mayor Sanchez.
Okay.
The only difference is the name and
Alright.
the dates.
So after you wrote a letter to that agency, the Bucor, ano ang naging sagot sa inyo ng
Ah.
Bucor?
There was a response. On February 26, 2019, the this is my letter addressed to the Executive Director Bayang. We write in reference, so forth and so on. And then, nasaan yun? The response of the Bucor on March 19, the response was addressed to this representation. Sir, this refers to your letter dated 26 February 2019, forwarding for appropriate action the request for executive clemency of Mrs. Marie Antonelvi J. Sanchez in behalf of her father, person deprived of liberty, Antonio Sanchez E. Leza, prison number N95P-0481, who is presently confined at the New Bilibid Prison, Muntinlupa City. In this connection, please be informed that in its meeting on February 27, 2019, the board resolved to deny the motion for reconsideration filed by PDL Sanchez and reiterated resolution number DFEC/DNEC-12-10-18 of the board dated 10 December 2018, denying his petition for executive clemency, citing the gravity of the offense he has committed as the reason thereof. Very truly yours, Reynaldo G. Bayang. And I responded, and this is my response, April 11. Dear Executive Director Bayang, we acknowledge receipt of your letter dated March 19, 2019 regarding the subject above and appreciate your prompt response. Thank you. I remain very truly yours.
How did you inform the family of Mayor Sanchez regarding that decision?
Huh? Here. On April 11, we wrote this letter to Miss Marie Antonel J. Sanchez. Dear Ms. Sanchez, further to your letter dated February 8 regarding the application of your father, Mr. Antonio Sanchez, for executive clemency, please find the attached copy of the letter reply dated March 19, 2019 from the Executive Director of the Board of Pardons and Parole, Mr. Reynaldo G. Bayang. Very truly yours.
Sila po ba'y sumulat uli or pinuntahan kayo sa opisina niyo para kausapin kayo?
Wala na. I don't recall na pumunta pa.
So when was the last time you talked to the family?
We'll have to check the records. Because I remember I was having a press briefing when I came out, nandiyan sila sa labas.
All right. Thank you, Secretary.
Maricel?
Hi, sir. Good morning. Sir, I understand you don't recall the exact date of the meeting, your first meeting with the Sanchez family, but
we
at
can-
least is it sometime
do we record,
February?
Yeah, we have. I think we have the record.
Okay, and ang nagpunta po sa office ay si Marie Antonelvi.
Actually, alam ko mga anak sila.
Sa inyo po nakipag-usap, sir, sa office niyo?
Una siyempre sa sa staff, and then pinapasok ko sa opisina.
Just a clarification, sir, because in several of your interviews, you have repeatedly said that you don't have any communications with the Sanchez family. So,
Official,
how will you...
hindi, walang personal communication. But official, pumunta sila. And as you can see, my letters speak for themselves. There is nothing there that will even remotely be viewed as an intervention or as a recommendation. Even after its denial, the same. Knowledge receipt, pinadala, tapos.
So just to be clear, sir, you don't have any relationship with the Sanchez family?
Definitely none. Definitely none. In fact, to be very frank, I didn't even recognize them because I saw them 27 years ago and they were still very young. Siyempre, nabago na mga mukha nila.
And sir, why didn't you mention this to the media during our previous interview para lang mas naging transparent sana?
Kasi lahat ng mga parehong the same, I respond to the same letters of all kinds. Kung baga, it's a standard. Walang personal. There's nothing personal in communicating with them. It's all official.
Okay, so you don't see it necessary to divulge this meeting?
No, because it's official. It's all recorded. There is nothing there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Chona, then Julie and Nestor.
Sir, but quick follow-up on Maricel's question. But we particularly asked you about Sanchez, and you said you have no communications with
Because
him.
I really didn't have a communication with Mayor Sanchez because the question was in reference to Mayor Sanchez himself. I haven't seen him for so many 20 years plus. There was an official request, and I referred it officially.
Sir, ang sabi niyo po kasi dito, sir, nung nasa China kayo, Marlon Ramos asked you, sabi niya, pardon me for asking this, pero before this issue became very public na nagkaroon ng outrage, have you been in communication with the family of former Mayor Sanchez? And you replied, matagal na kasing nakakulong yun nung binisita ko siya 3 years after the conviction.
So, in other words, my response was in relation to Sanchez himself. Matagal na siyang nakakulong. So my understanding was the question was in reference to Mayor Sanchez
Sir,
himself.
yung question po kasi, have you been in communication with the family
But
of...
ang dating sa akin ng tanong, kaya nga yung response ko, nakakulong siya. So in other words, my understanding of the question was in reference to Mayor Sanchez himself.
And
I
don't
may have misheard that particular. Exactly, the response was in reference to Mayor Sanchez himself.
And don't you see it proper to divulge in public that you had you have a communication?
As
with
I
your
already
family?
said, the communication is official. It's recorded. When you say, because to me, ang dating ng tanong nyo, yung tanong na nag-communicate ka, yung ano pa kayo? Meron pa kayong rapport, meron kayong relasyon, na magkakaibigan kayo. But mine is official It's an official communication written to this office and we responded by referring the same.
Sir, can you describe to us what was the atmosphere when you had a meeting with the family of Sanchez? Ano pong sinabi niyo sa kanila?
Sabi ko, i-refer ko itong letter ninyo. And then, magantay na lang kayo ng sagot. Yun lang.
And you don't consider that as an intervention?
Definitely. How can you this office, as I said, receives and responds to all letters. We cannot discriminate. Otherwise, we will be accused of being partial and discriminatory. Kailangan lahat sasagutin mo.
Okay, Chona, Julie.
Sir, you were the former lawyer, Mayor. You were the
Yes.
former lawyer of Mayor Sanchez.
One of the lawyers, there were 7 of us.
Yeah. Did you, when you received the letter seeking for help and you referred it to the proper agency in charge of it, did you not see it necessary or proper to inhibit yourself since you were the former mayor,
No.
former lawyer?
No, because I was just referring the matter to the appropriate authority.
Even if
And I refer all kinds of letters the same. I don't want to be accused by anyone that just because I'm a lawyer, I would be not doing anything for an official communication, which as a matter of policy by the Office of the President is for me or this office to respond immediately.
Did it not cross your mind that you being a former lawyer of the Sanchez family,
No, because-
it might be colored because of your
No, in the
previous
first place, it was
relationship with him?
27 years ago. Another thing, I was only one of the lawyers. I was not even the lead counsel.
Sir, follow-up lang po. You said that the visit of the Sanchez family to you and their letter to you is official record naman,
Yes.
it's official communication. If it is official communication, did you not see the need to be transparent about it to the media?
There is no
and
need to be
disclose it?
transparent because it's recorded. Anybody can look over the records. It's there. Anybody can see it. It's open.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, questions? Raymond?
In fact, that is transparency. When you record the visit, when you record the request, when you record the response, that is transparency.
Okay.
Sir, what we are talking about is simply the letter to the Board of Parole and Pardon, right?
Yeah.
So for the record, no more letter, for example, of a referral to the, in particular naman dun sa Bureau of Corrections for this good conduct time allowance benefit of Mayor Sanchez.
Only to the Bureau of Pardons and Parole.
Which is,
So it's not even...
so wala nang lalabas ha na
Oh,
sulat mo.
definitely not, because it's all there. It's recorded.
Sir, mag-shift lang tayo sa, pero related pa rin sa controversial issue. Sir, so you and the President agree that Mr. Sanchez is not ever qualified to
Cannot,
be...
because the law is very clear that those convicted of heinous crimes are not covered.
And, but with that, before that, Bureau Corps Director General released or wrote a memo order, or release order for Sanchez, even though he is not qualified to benefit from the GCTA law.
I do not know about Mr. Feldon. He can respond to your question.
Yes.
I'm not privy to anything that he did.
Yes. So with that, isn't that incompetence on the part of Mr. Feldon?
That is for the Senate investigation time. There is an ongoing investigation, and as I said in my statement, the President will wait for the ongoing investigation and wait for the recommendation.
But not knowing of his job and not knowing his law, isn't it incompetence?
That's for the President to decide. I talked with him yesterday, and that was he told me. There is an ongoing investigation, and I'll wait for the investigation.
With what have been said and done and admitted by Mr. Feldon, you see him still as competent to remain in office?
I cannot say anything about that because first, that lies on the President's discretion. I will not be prejudging any person in this arena. It's the Senate investigation conducting it. They will be having their own recommendations, and the President will evaluate and make a decision.
Okay.
Unless sooner decided by the President himself.
And it's up to Mr. Feldon if he wants to resign before the President act on it.
Oh, that's for him. That's for his
So he may
call.
resign if he wants.
That's his call. I would not want to suggest anything or imply anything. As far as I'm concerned, the President's statement is clear. There is an investigation, and I'll wait for that investigation to terminate.
Yes, so it's his choice if he wants to resign.
That's for him to decide.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Maricel, then Pia, Chona, and Ace.
Sir, aren't you disappointed with the performance of Faeldon considering that when he was the chief of Bureau of Customs, nagkaroon ng issue, and then now he's at Bucor, there's another controversy?
I cannot make any assessment of what he did. In the first place, I am not there every day to assess what his performance is. He has his explanation and is doing that in the Senate. So let us wait for the Senate, what they think of his explanation, whether it's justified or not.
So for now, do you still consider him as an asset in the government?
That's for the President to decide. That's not for me to decide.
Can we say that the president
My
still,
duty is to echo what the President's thoughts are, and not my personal opinion.
can we say
And
that
my opinion, personal, is irrelevant to any matter concerning government affairs.
and can we say that the president still trusts Faeldon?
Until such time as the President says otherwise, the status quo remains,
So he doesn't.
unless sooner changed. In other words, the presumption is always the President gives you trust and confidence. But, as he always tell all of us, that is subject to change without prior notice. When I receive certain information that may impair the trust, then I will remove it. So let's wait for the president.
Okay, so meaning for now, the president has no plans of firing Faeldon.
I do not know about his plans because he has not told me. But there was a statement from Senator Bongo. I don't know how true, accurate that was in the Inquirer. Was that Inquirer? Huh? Ano yan? There was, hindi, what I read in the plane is that, was that PRRD ready to fire something? Eh, yun ang galing yung kay Senator Bongo. Hindi ko alam. Basta kung ano lang sinabi sa akin ng Presidente, yun lang ang alam ko sa inyo.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Chona, then...
But what is important, you know, the President particularly directed me to issue a statement relative to Mrs. Chong's lamentation. Because Mrs. Chong, the mother of the sisters involved in that murder case, was effectively blaming the President about this law. And that is why the President says, I have to issue a statement and tell Mrs. Chong particularly and the public the history of that law. The law 10592 was introduced in Congress in 2013, and both Senate and the House passed the same, and President Benigno Aquino, the former president, signed it into law. Now, I think what made it messy is that former senator, former Secretary of Justice, now detained Laila de Lima, issued and crafted a implementing rules and regulation together with the DILG Secretary Rojas, placing those convicted of heinous crimes as covered by Republic Act 10592. I think that started the whole thing. That's why the President says, it's not in my administration. And if they're saying that, why are you not removing those people who have been doing the wrong computations? The President's answer is, I cannot do that because they are covered by the security of tenure. They were employees of the previous administrations and even prior to that. So please don't blame me. Please tell that to Mrs. Chong. That's why I issued that statement.
Okay. Friendly reminder, please limit your follow-up questions. May 6 pa magtatanong, Ace.
Sec, nabanggit nyo sa mga recent press briefings, hindi nyo nga alam na naipasa na yung GCTA?
Yes.
Kailan
In other
nyo-
words, nalaman ko lang nung pumutok na. So,
Kailan nyo nalaman na
nung pumutok, noon ba nung tinanong niyo ako?
mga July, August, ganun
No,
po?
yung ano to lang. Itong pagputok, alam mo pumutok yun? Ninoy ano yata yun eh?
Okay.
August
So, August.
20 yata, 21 na.
Mga ganun.
When it erupted in the papers, I think who was the one who asked me? Joseph Morong? Sabi niya, sir, release na ha? Bakit? Ba't ma-release? That's what my response. And then, nabasa ko nga na may Republic 10592. And then I heard Secretary Guevara saying na there's no need for intervention, not even Panelo, kasi that's the law. So, binasa ko namin yung law. Ay, nakita ko doon na hindi naman talaga pwede. That's why I issued a statement.
Yung
In fact, when I haven't read the law yet, my statement is, whatever the law is, we have to implement.
Yung letter po ni Marie Sanchez, did it cite the GCTA dun sa request for
No, wala nga.
executive?
That's why I told you, all the letters never cited any Republic Act 10592.
Hindi nila sinite na,
Kasi ako, pag nakikita ko lang na inmate, pinapasa ko na agad sa mga abogado. Eh.
so it never cited na dahil may GCTA
Wala.
and our
Hindi,
father
in fact,
is...
di ba nakaka-attach yung ano bang nakalagay sa letter niya? Yeah, Dear Mr. Secretary, I am cordially writing you in relation to the case of my father, Mr. Antonio L. Sanchez, who was a former mayor of Calauan, Laguna, which you originally handled as counsel. Anent thereto, I am respectfully requesting the assistance of your good office by providing us, if possible, recommendations from you, former special aide to the President, Christopher Lawrence Bongo, and our good President, His Excellency, the Honorable Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for the grant of pardon unto my father. In view thereof, I am hereby respectfully forwarding to you the hereto attached documents composed of the various recommendations of different government officials and other supporting papers. Any help that you could possibly extend to us shall be highly appreciated, and rest assured that it shall be treated with utmost confidentiality. Thank you very much, and have a blessed day. Sincerely.
Okay. So it was not in relation to GCTA?
No.
Parang simpleng request for pardon? Okay. Sige, Sek.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pia, reminder ulit, please limit your follow-up question. Pia.
Sir, when you forwarded, when you referred the application for executive clemency to the Board of Pardons and Parole, were you aware that his petition for executive clemency, Mayor Sanchez, was denied on December 10, 2018?
That's why nga, di ba, binasa ko na yung response ko kasi I was told. Di ba, I read kanina. The letter of Reynaldo Bayang says, in this connection, please be informed that in its meeting, February 27, 2009, the board resolved to deny the motion for reconsideration. And my response was, on April 11, we acknowledge receipt of your letter dated March 19, 2009 regarding the above subject and appreciate your prompt response. Thank you. I remain. Yun lang.
So, sir, when you referred the letter, denied na siya. So you still, were
Ay,
you
hindi ko
aware?
alam. I don't know about the denial. Kasi nalaman ko lang din eh. Nalaman ko lang, I only knew of the motion for reconsideration because the letter says so, coming from Bayan.
Okay, sir. Sir, was there no need to examine, o parang does your office see that there is no need to examine every letter of request that goes to your office to check whether the letter warrants an action from your office?
No, the action from the office is to refer everything to the concerned agency. That's the function. We're just following the instruction of the President na lahat ng sumusulat, lahat ng humingi ng tulong, i-refer nyo sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno. At yung mga ahensya ng gobyerno naman, they have how many days to respond? Kailangan mag-action kayo, whether denial or grant, kailangan may action.
So you don't check, you don't filter every letter of request that goes to your office?
We read the letter. We read the letter. And then, if the letter refers to, for instance, the Bureau of Pardons and Parole, we refer it to the Bureau of Pardons and Parole. If it's a problem involving the Department of Agriculture, we refer it immediately to the Department Secretary. So palagi lang kaming referral. Kasi, I think the people write letters to the Office of the President. Kasi pag kami ang sumulat, referring the same to them, dahil galing sa Office of the President, mas madali yung response. Kasi hindi ba ang reklamo ng lahat ng tao, 1 taon na, 2 taon na, walang nangyayari sa mga susulat nila. At karamihan talaga hindi sinasagot. Kami, we responded immediately.
So it doesn't mean that your office saw merit in their application for executive clemency. That's why you referred it to the Bureau of...
Because on the first place, we do not have the authority.
Okay.
We do not have the authority. Our job is to refer it to the proper agencies for their evaluation and their action in accordance with law. I think the job of the Office of the Chief Presidential Legal Counsel with respect to the letters is just to forward it immediately for them to take action. Kasi nga, palaging complaints is walang nangyayari. Kasi usually, mga reklamo, sinulatan na po namin, 1 taon na po yan, 6 na buwan, pinabalik-balik po kami. So we refer to you this letter for your evaluation and for whatever response.
Sir, didn't you even consider the possibility that that action from your office would be construed as conflict of interest on your part?
How can it be conflict?
Because you were the former...
No, I do not think so.
counsel of the Sanchez.
Because in the first place, we do exactly the same thing to all. All equally treated. Kahit na sino. Kay kaibigan ka, kay mag-anak ka, basta kung ano yung batas we will follow the law.
Sir, last na lang, is there anything else that you want to tell us about the Sanchez case? Now, official communication, baka
Wala. Kung
hindi
ano
namin naitanong, sir.
Kung ano yung nasa record, yun na lang yun.
Is there anything that is on official record that you feel that is important to tell us about the Sanchez case, to tell the public?
Basta yun ang sinabi ko sa kanila kung ano yung batas. Of course, they're saying na inosente. Ang sabi ko sa kanila, may desisyon ng Korte Suprema. May dalawang nagtistigo. Kung yung mga nagsinungaling, di yun ang pakiusapan nyo, nasabihin nilang totoo kung hindi totoo yung sinabi nila.
Last na lang, sir, categorically, did you lie when you answered that you had no communication with the Sanchez's?
No, because the question my understanding of the question is in reference to Sanchez himself.
So yun yung pagkakaintindi niyo,
Yes.
sir, sa question. Alright.
Okay, tatlong questions na lang kasi sabi ko limit your follow-up questions. Jonah, then Julie, magtatanong ka. Julie, and then the Business Mirror.
Sir, when the President asked your legal advice, did you not inform him that you had a meeting with
Oh, yes, I did. Of course, I did. I
What
told
was
him.
the response of the President?
Well, he was listening. I told him, nagpunta nga yan sa akin. Sabi ko, talagang yan ang batas.
And did you inform also the President that the family of Sanchez is applying for executive clemency?
Hindi ko na sinabi yun. Basta sinabi ko, lumapit na yan.
And why did you not tell the President that he is applying for executive clemency? Did you not see any necessity to inform the President?
Let me tell you this. When I read something, di may nabasa ko, executive clemency, nire-refer ko kagad yun sa mga abogado ko. Gawa na kayo ng usual letter. There are 3 lawyers. Ina-assign ko na yan. Sa dami, hindi ko na I don't have the time to ponder or to what. Basta automatic yan. Refer, tapos pirma.
Can you tell us, sir, what was the exact quote of the President when you informed him that you had a meeting with the family?
Well, the response of the President was, I was the first one to call Don and told him not to release. Tell that to the media. O yun. That's why, di ba sinabi ko kagad sa inyo?
Okay. Last na lang, sir. Do you believe na wala kang ginawang mali dito
Oh,
sa...
definitely, because it's all there. Yeah. The letters speak for themselves. My referral speaks for itself. My response to the to Director Bayang is also speaks for itself.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Julie, then Business Mirror.
Sige, sir.
Sorry ha, please limit your follow-up questions kasi mag-news na.
Yes, sir. Sir, balikan ko lang po yung statement niyo po kaninang umaga. The last paragraph said na the President will not tolerate any form of injustice being committed under his watch. And in for this reason that he will ensure that the practice initiated by the past administration on the granting of GCTA will no longer continue. What do you mean by this? I-repeal yung batas?
It means that first, hindi ba sinabi ko, what made it so messy is because of the implementing rules and regulations. Kailangan baguhin mo yung implementing rules and regulations. Now, after mabago yan, you will leave it to the wisdom of the lawmakers whether to amend it or to repeal it. Yun ang ibig namin sabihin.
But for now, the executive branch can only amend yung IRR.
Yes.
Yun lang yung gusto niyo sa
To be
ngayon.
consistent with the law, that those who are excluded expressly should not be considered because they are automatically disqualified.
Pero di ba sir, yung RA 10592 only amends yung RPC which already included yung pag-grant ng GCTA. Kumbaga, in-expand lang niya na dinagdagan niya ng araw.
Hindi, kasi nga I understand dun sa IRR, sinama nila yung may heinous crimes pwede.
Okay, sir.
Kaya yun naman ang sinasabi ng mga nandun sa yung mga nag-process. Kaya nga nagkaroon ng gulo because of that IRR, which was crafted by the previous administration, by the former Secretary of Justice. Hindi DOJ ni Secretary Guevara.
Sir, balikan ko lang po yung tanong ni Pia about yung pagre-review po natin ng mga letters na pinapadala sa office natin. Given na you said that you automatically refer yung mga letters na yun to the concerned agencies for appropriate
Yes.
action, do you not feel na it is parang irresponsible not to review or carefully scrutinize yung mga letters na yun before forwarding it to another agency?
Oh, hindi, binabasa nga eh. Precisely nga, binabasa mo para you're reading precisely the contents of the letter. And that's why you're referring it to them. Para pag nag-respond sila, alam mo kung anong response regarding kung... Kaya nga, if you notice, may nakalagay dito. In all the letters, whether it involves the inmate or any ordinary writer, we request that your good office update us for record purposes and for whatever action this office may want to undertake, consistent with law and the policy of the President for good government. Halimbawa, sumagot. Sasabihin, oh, hindi totoo yung sinasabi niya. So ang gagawin naman namin, we will write naman the letter writer, oh, ito yung sagot ng ano. O, so sasagutin naman kami, babalik na naman namin. Kaya, very transparent. Kung ano yung sinabi, ngayon, kung there is a legal issue involved, that's the time I will ask the lawyers, study this particular law, whether the letter writer is correct in saying that this and that. That's the time we make an opinion, and then we advise the President.
Sir, sorry, sabi nyo, nire-refer nyo sa lawyers nyo, di ba, to see kung correct ba yung letter writer. Yung sa Sanchez case ba, di ba, nire-refer nyo rin to your lawyers, correct?
Yes, I did.
Ano sabi nila, sir?
Oh, I refer it to Asik
Did
Darren.
they agree, sir? Did they agree na with merit yung letter or hindi?
Hindi, ang ginawa nila, nag-draft na sila ng standard. Binigay sa opisina ko, pinirmahan ko na, yun lang.
Which is yung referral letter that you
Yun
sent?
lang,
Okay,
referral. Nirefer namin sa Bureau of Pardons and Parole.
Sir, last na talaga from my end. After na deny yung GCTA, ay yung everything, did the Sanchez family reach out to you again
No.
after this? No. So it was the last contact that you had with them?
Yes, yung nandito sila nung huling briefing nga, nung paglabas ko na dyan sila.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Business Mirror. Maglalast na ako kay Vic Sumintak. Okay, si RJ.
Ay, mabilis lang po. Meron po bang data meron po kayong data kung ilan po yung mga na-refer nila sa Bureau of Corrections before po kay Sanchez?
Dami. Alam ba, must be hundreds. Ito, ang dami nito eh. Mahigit na 50 ito. I can leave this to all of you.
Okay. So RJ, pwedeng si Tuesday ang last question. Dalawa na lang. Last question. Last two, RJ. And then Tuesday.
Sir, you mentioned that in the letter by the Sanchez family, there are attached recommendations from other government agencies. Correct, sir? Granting Mr. Sanchez executive clemency.
Not granting, recommending.
Recommending. Yes. Which agencies recommended?
Ay, hindi ko alam. I didn't...
Of course, they mentioned in the letter.
I didn't go over yung mga attachment kasi I referred that to the lawyer. Ang binabasa ko lang yung main letter. Then yung mga attachment, hindi ko na... Kasi kung gagawin ko wala na akong magagawa. Siyempre, bibigay ko na sa mga abogado.
Okay.
Okay, last question, Tuesday new.
Hi, sir. Nabanggit natin kanina na nag-refer kayo sa Bureau of Pardons and Parole, sinagot nyo naman, and so on and so forth, nagsasagutan kayo. And then, bakit hindi nyo po nabanggit ito sa amin sa mga previous press briefings when in fact, ang tagal-tagal nating tinitake up itong Sanchez issue? Sir.
But, as I said, it's all in the record. It's as transparent as it's in the record.
Sir,
Anybody could just look at the record.
Yes, sir. Pero kung hindi lumabas sa Senate investigation, sir, hindi kayo magsasalita ngayon. Pero pwede nyo namang sinabi na sa amin before?
No, because
or last week,
the question was in reference to Sanchez himself. Kung nakausap ko na mismo si Mayor Sanchez. Kaya sagot ko palagi, hindi.
Yes, but you could have said na yung family
I
pumunta
stand
pala
by
sa
my
inyo.
statement that I have nothing to do, no intervention, nothing whatsoever. It was a referral letter which is consistent with our duty in the office to refer all letters to the appropriate agencies that should require their evaluation or action.
So you believe, sir, or you feel na hindi kailangan na mabanggit nyo sa amin kung hindi lumutang sa Senate investigation na mayroon kayo palang referral sa Bureau of Pardons and Parole?
Perhaps if the question was, did the Sanchez family write you a letter, then I can say, oh, there is a letter there, yes. But the question palagi is, may contact pa ba kayo kay Mayor Sanchez? Mayor Sanchez mismo eh. The person himself eh.
Yes, sir. But yung sinasabi nyo na it's all in the records, hindi naman po yun talaga, hindi naman kaagad nakikita ng public yun. Pero pwede nyo sanang nasabi na agad.
Well, I felt na since the question was in reference to Sanchez himself and the letter was not written by him, kami mga abogado kasi ganyan eh. Yung tanong mo lang, yun ang sasagutin ko.
Okay.
Yan, tanong mo sa akin, si Mayor Sanchez, talaga naman hindi kami nagkakausap, paano ko?
Okay, thank you, Tuesday. Raymond, baikli lang,
Sir,
Raymond.
doon sa issue ng hindi niya matanggal yung mga kurakot sa Bureau of Corrections because of the security
Security
tenure.
tenure.
But nagawa ng Pangulo na palutangin lahat yung sa Bureau of Customs at floating status pinagre-report sa Kamara as he mentioned during the State of the Nation address. Can he do this time sa Bureau of Corrections considering yung ibinulgar ni former Director General ng Senator Bato de la Rosa na GCTA for sale. So hindi niya magawa sa Bureau of Corrections na lahat ng mga posibleng sangkot from the highest to the mid-level officials ay floating din muna pending the investigation.
What the president means is that you cannot just remove them outright. You have to file charges. You have to have administrative charges. Kailangan may complaint. Hindi pwede yung narinig mo lang ganyan, tatanggalin mo na. Yung mga pina-floating niya, yun merong authorities ito kasi mga higher level yun eh. Ang sinasabi niya, yung for instance, yung mga nagko-compute, mga ordinaryong empleyado.
Hindi palutangin din niya, floating lang din pending yung investigation para yung ginawa niya sa customs.
But to my mind, what is important is the president has directed that all those not qualified cannot be released.
Okay, thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Secretary. Thank you.
Walang China.
Okay, thank you, MPC. Back to our main studio sa
Oh,
Radyo
iwanan
Pilipinas
ko na
and
to.
People's Television Network.